A pendulum is essentially some mass hanging on a presumably massless string, swinging from a pivot point. When the mass is moved out to an angle and released, the mass will swing back and forth in a periodic motion. The period of a pendulum is the time it takes for the mass to complete one entire cycle of its swing. This is the formula that describes this situation, where T is the period, L is the length of the string or wire or whatever else it's hanging from, and G is the acceleration due to gravity, which on Earth is 9.81 meters per second squared approximately. Let's run through a couple of examples. What is the period of a simple pendulum with a string length of 2 meters? Well, what do we know so far? We know that the length is 2 meters. We know acceleration due to gravity is about 9.81 meters per second squared. What we don't know is the period. So let's get our formula and plug in what we know. So we have 2 pi times 2 meters over 9.81 meters per second squared, all square rooted. And this comes out to be about 2.84 seconds. Let's try this one. What is the length of the string on a pendulum with a period of 4 seconds? So we have our formula here. Period is equal to 2 pi times the square roots of length over acceleration due to gravity. Now let's rearrange this to make the process a bit more streamlined. So let's square both sides to get rid of the square root. So we have t squared is equal to 4 pi squared times L over G. Now multiply both sides by G. Whoops. And we have t squared times G is equal to 4 pi squared times L. And then just divide both sides by 4 pi squared. And so we get length is equal to period squared times acceleration due to gravity over 4 pi squared. Now that we have our formula for length, let's plug and play. So we have length is equal to 4 seconds squared times 9.81 meters per second squared over 4 pi squared. And if you type that into a calculator, you'll see that the length is going to be about 3.98 meters. Just as an FYI, if you want to find the frequency in hertz of this motion, just take the inverse of the period, meaning that your frequency will be 1 over the period. So if your period is 2 seconds, the frequency will just be 1 over 2 seconds which is just 0.5 hertz. So that's some of the basics for a simple pendulum. I'll be going over some more in-depth examples in a future video. Thank you for watching and allowing me to be part of your study sesh, and I'll see you next time.